Hello, my name is Marcia Johnson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Together with my grandnieces and nephew, Allie, Ashley, and Ryan, we are Marcia's Crafts. First off, I want to wish everybody a very happy new year. Hope last year was good for you, and this year will be even better. We also have some exciting things happening this week. We have the new catalog and celebration starting on Thursday, the 3rd of January. That's always something to look forward to, so I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, this is the card we're going to be making today. It is from the wonderful Floral suite. Let's get started. I'm going to do something different today. I'm not going to give you all the measurements. You'll find them underneath the video. We're trying to save a little bit of time. You don't need to hear them all. So anyway, we're going to use the Wonderful Romance stamp set. We're going to use this image, Thinking of You, and the leaf. We're going to use the Wonderful Floral Framelits, and we'll be using this little tiny sprig, this leaf, the frame for our sentiment, this big one, and this one's amazing. Wait till you see what it does. Okay, I already had take one of this video, so I've already attached my Sahara Sand layer to my fresh fig base. That's all I got to before I had a minor disaster. We have this beautiful vellum paper which comes in the paper to go with this suite, and I'm going to set that aside for a minute. We'll need these to do some big shot work. This also is big shot. And I believe the rest of these things we are going to stamp on. First, I'm going to use the main focal image, and let me ink that up in Mossy Meadow. There we go. Next, I'm going to do the sentiment. Everything's in Mossy Meadow. That's Thinking of You. It doesn't matter if it gets crooked because we're going to cut it out. There we go. Then the envelope and the inside of our card, both are done with the leaf stamp. And I do it on the bottom right-hand corner of the inside of the card and the bottom left-hand corner of the envelope. That's all our stamping. Now we have some coloring to do with the blends. Okay, so we're going to be coloring in the leaves and this main image. I'm just going to do a little bit because you've seen everybody color before. What I did for the leaf was I stamped it in Mossy Meadow, and then I just colored it in light Mossy Meadow. And I just colored it with mostly long sweeping strokes. And you get the idea. I did the same thing on the envelope. On the envelope, do remember though, if you're using Stampin' Blends, put a sheet of paper inside so that your envelope doesn't bleed onto the back of the envelope, because it will happen. Okay, for this one, we're just going to color a little bit of it too. I used the Petal Pink to color in the flowers, and then I colored in all these little petals, kind of like pink baby breath, and so on. For the small leaves, I took Old Olive, the light Old Olive, and the light Granny Apple Green, and what I did was I outlined everything on the small leaves, and again, we'll just do a couple, with Old Olive, and I put in the veins. So all of the small leaves I did like this. Then I colored them in with Granny Apple Green to brighten it up a little bit, but it was a little too bright for Pear Pizzaz, which was the color I was going for. So then I just went over it again with the Old Olive, and that seemed to tone it down and give it more of a Pear Pizzaz color. I was pretty happy with it. Then for the other flowers, I did not have a fresh fig blend, so I took Blackberry Bliss and outlined the flowers. I just did like around the center, and then just outlined the leaves. And then I colored them in with Rich Razzleberry. which kind of gave me the color I was looking for, but it looked kind of flat. So I took the color lifter and just went up from the middle of the flower towards the petals, and it kind of lightened things up a little bit. So I think it just made it look a little more dimensional. And I was happy with the look, so that's what I did. And then if your color blender gets stained, just wipe it on paper till it goes clear, and it's fine. Then for the big leaves, I outlined everything in the Mossy Meadow. I outlined the outside in Mossy Meadow and the vein. And then I just colored it in with the light Mossy Meadow. Actually, I think I used the big one because these are bigger leaves. And just colored it in and tried to blend it just a little bit. And that's what I did. When I finished, it looked like this. Okay, now our stamping is done. Time to do some big shot work. So what you would do is take your colored image and put this die on top of it. I would probably put some tape there to keep it in place. This one, just line it up. I would also put some tape on that. You need 2 of these little green leaves, so you'd have to run that through twice, and 1 of these little fresh fig sprigs. And then you take this die and line it up just at the edge, making sure that it's straight. I would also put some tape on this and run all these things through, and through the miracle of YouTube, they're all cut and done. Here's that beautiful lattice with the embossed leaves. Here's the main piece, 2 little sprigs, or 2 little leaves, and they're embossed also, the veins, and then this little sprig and the sentiment. So now it's time to assemble. So first thing we're going to do is take that piece of vellum and put it on this leaf trellisy thing. So what we'll do is turn it over, put some snail on the back towards the ends, then line up that vellum, kind of in the middle. Turn the end over and press it down. And then the other end, same thing. Fold it over tightly and press it down. You could also add some snail or a glue dot or something. I think I'll put a glue dot in there to keep the middle part down, because the top part is actually gonna be covered by the sentiment, and in the bottom part it's gonna be covered by that beautiful floral piece. So we can stick a glue dot under, and it's not going to show at all. Put it up here where the sentiment's going to go. Okay, then you can add this. You can add it with glue or with snail. If you use snail, though, I think I would take my glue and just get a little bit coming out, just a tiny little bit. That might be a little too much. I'll stick some there. And then just go down the leaves and put just a little teeny dab on those. Then take your card base, put this on so that the leaves go to the far edge, and there's a tiny gap at the top and the bottom, not much. And then just press it down. We can put our, well, I'm going to put on the one that we stamped and didn't finish coloring. We can finish coloring it later. Even if it bleeds, it'll be fine, because it'll just bleed onto the fresh fig and it won't go through. Okay, put that in. Might be a good idea to put it in straight. That's better. Okay, and then on the front, we're going to put our sentiment on, and you can just do that with SNAIL also. Put it right in the center towards the top. I mean the center of the green space here with the vellum on it. Then I want to use dimensionals on my flower here. Okay. And this I'm going to have my stems right down there in the corner of the trellis, and I'm going to let my leaf come up over the sentiment. Still got a little bit of tape on there. Then for these leaves, you can use glue or glue dots or whatever. I'm going to stick this one in right here in back of the focal point, but a little bit over the sentiment. I'm going to put this fresh fig spray right here, and I'm going to take the part of the stem off this one and stick it down at the bottom there. And then just one more thing, I'm going to take my pokey tool, and I colored a bunch of pearls with the Petal pink blend. I did them a couple of, gave them a couple of coats because it's a pretty light color and I wanted them to be Petal pink. And I'm just going to put one of the pearls in each of the big flowers. And that completes our card. There's the envelope. Here's the card. Here's my first card, and that's what the inside's supposed to look like. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the card. If you did, we'd appreciate a thumbs up. These products will be available for purchase on the 3rd of January in my little store, marciascrafts.stampinup.net. We would appreciate your business and hope you liked it. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe. That would be great. See you next time. Again, have a wonderful new year. Bye-bye.